Welcome to the Micro Mitsu Road Trip. Come along as we take a tiny 26-year-old JDM Mitsubishi Kei car on an unlikely journey through the Appalachian Mountains en route to the 2018 shootout in Norwalk, Ohio. Our trip begins with a 3-hour drive to pick up our rare Japanese micro car. Let's go get it.
Hey everybody, bright and early, 3:30 in the morning, the adventure begins. Let's go. Okay, we've made it to the starting point of our trip, Duncan Imports and Classic Cars here in Christiansburg, Virginia. Let's go in and check it out.
Now you know how much I love Duncan Imports and Classic Cars. If I could live there, I would. Maybe someday they'll let me. So a couple months back, I worked with the awesome team there to come up with this whole idea. Long story short, they're letting me borrow this incredibly cool car for this road trip and to share with everyone at the shootout. I know, amazing, right? So here it is. This is a 1992 Mitsubishi Minica Dangan ZZ, a Japanese market car that just recently became legal to import into the USA. Dangan is the Japanese word for bullet, which explains the philosophy of this car perfectly. It was Mitsubishi's answer to the Kei car hot hatch craze, and it features a 660cc dual overhead cam, turbocharged and intercooled 3-cylinder engine that revs out to a stunning 9,000 RPM. The cars of this era were loaded with all sorts of unique performance-oriented innovations, and this one is no different. For example, it offered the world's first application of 5 valves per cylinder and was available in an all-wheel drive version. With tight steering, tiny dimensions, go-kart-like handling, and a spry 1,400-pound curb weight, the driving experience is like no other. Prior to this, I'd only experienced this car in Gran Turismo, so I'm so thrilled to finally experience it in real life. Oh, and I'll be doing a much more detailed review of this car in an upcoming video, so be sure to look out for that one. Okay, back to the road trip.
Okay folks, we're heading out in the Dangan ZZ. First stop, gotta fill up the tank, and then we're gonna hit the highway.
I had a fun moment here. So fuel door releases on Japanese cars are always right here. You can rely on this like the sun coming up in the morning. Well, the Dangan's fuel door release wasn't right here. So here I am, stuck at this gas station, looking everywhere for this thing. After what felt like an eternity, I just happened to glance at the e-brake area, and there it was. Woo-wee. Okay, back to the trip.
Okay, we're almost ready to go. I just gotta set up my navigation system. Here we go. Okay, everybody, we're rolling. About to head into the mountains of West Virginia, en route to Norwalk, Ohio, to the shootout. He's behind me, isn't he? Torch! Oh my goodness, look at that mountain. I hope I can make it over that thing. The Dangan ZZ is doing great. It's just trucking right up these big mountains, and there are some big mountains up ahead. So it's gonna be a real challenge. As you can imagine, never driving a car like this before, just getting myself acquainted with the car. Luckily, these are sort of quiet, open mountain roads. The folks at Duncan were so great. They went all through the car. They put new tires on it. So I'm completely confident that the car is reliable and good to go. Especially since they just buy the best cars from Japan. But so far, it runs great. The engine is super responsive, especially up and down these big hills. Loving it so far.
I visited many toll plazas on this trip, and the ZZ always brought a smile to the attendant's face.
Hello. Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Whoa, this thing rips. So here's a look at fifth gear gearing. About 60 miles an hour there, 100 Ks, 4,200 or so, give or take, RPM. And you know you're in that boost when this happens. So when you're road tripping a micro car like this, it's appropriate that you bring the proper snacks. I believe I've done so. These are petite carrots. They don't take up much room, and you know, they just kind of fit wherever. We got no room for full-size carrots in this thing. Oh, and the car is doing fantastic. We're trucking through these gigantic mountains. We're coming down one right now. Let's see, I've racked up 171 kilometers and just running like a champ. Plenty of power to go up these mountains. Totally impressed.
Okay, taking a little break and gassing up the ZZ here. Right after I turned off the camera, I had a giant crowd of people around the car asking questions and stuff. I kind of felt like an alien that had landed in this small town from another planet, and the locals wanted to know all about my spaceship. As you can imagine, this car has a small gas tank, but it was getting around 45 miles per gallon, even through the mountains with the air condition blasting, so you can get around 250 to 300 miles per tank, depending on how you drive. Gotta love that. The flat, corn-filled lands of Ohio were a welcome sight after those huge mountains.
Yes, corn! Means we're almost there! Beautiful corn!
But then the rain kicked in. The Dangan didn't mind though, and handled it with no problems at all.
Going great so far. I'm about 80 miles away from Milan, Ohio, which is where I'll be staying. Close to Summer Motorsports Park and Busher Racing. Just can't say enough about this car. It's doing so well. No problem through the mountains. That turbo boost always right there to zip you straight up the hills. No problem keeping up with traffic. I've been going about 65, 70 miles per hour, give or take, and no problem at all. Just zips right along. Much more comfortable than the AZ1. That's pretty much all I have to compare it to. The AZ1, much more of a sports car, you know, hard edge kind of thing. This is much quieter, much more comfortable, totally roomy up front, lots of room for your stuff. Nice, it has a back seat and a trunk, so really useful car. I mean, you could daily this thing. It would be just an awesome little car to daily drive. Thank you to Duncan Imports for allowing me to borrow this awesome little car. It's gonna be hard to get back. Hey everybody, I made it. 8.5 hours in a microcar. Actually wasn't too bad, pretty comfortable. I'm just a little tired.
After getting checked in at the hotel and grabbing a quick bite, it was time to clean up the car and get ready for the car show and dyno day at Busher Racing on Friday.
Bright and early here on Friday morning, headed to Busher Racing. This is the dyno day, car show, hangout. I really love this day. You get to see everybody's cars and lots of familiar faces. Really looking forward to it. Let's go.
See ya. Subway spokes creature. What do you think about that Subway spokes creature?
Really? Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Joe, there he is. Hi, Joe.
What's up, man?
I'm trying to take a shot of everybody standing around. So after an awesome morning at Busher Racing, catching up with old friends and checking out everyone's car, it was time to head to the track for Friday night test and tune. The racers got some practice runs in, but qualifying was canceled due to heavy rain. All right, folks, we're on our way to Summit Motorsports Park in Norwalk, Ohio, headed to qualifying for the shootout. Always exciting, everybody really gunning for it. Let's go check it out. up? Look who I'm with, everybody. Jeffro, the Jeffro. He's gonna drive the Dangan ZZ. He's kind of a tall dude, as you can see. This might be a challenge.
6'4", 183. We'll see how I fit.
All right, let's do it. All right, sir. There's the keys.
Awesome.
You like this? All right, here we go. Now,
let's see if I can fit in it.
yeah.
Do I need to move the seat back, or is it all the way back?
Well, let's give it. Now it's on the side, like a Calder module. Okay, all the way back already.
Pretty much all the way back. Let's see if I fit.
Here, let's get back here. Let's see the leg room. Oh, the knees are compromised. The shoes are a big problem. I can see already.
36-inch inseam.
You got your legs are too long, dude.
That's probably it.
What do you think?
I could still drive this. I'm determined to drive.
Here we go. We're gonna shut you in there. All right, here we go. Look, he's a pro. It's like first time. Here we go.
Jeffro testing out the Dangan ZZ. Oh, there we go. Oh, that is you, man. That is you. Whoa! What an entrance.
Right on. We're back. Good times. Ichiban. Ichiban.
All right, Jeffro. So what was your driving impression?
You know, that thing actually has some low-end torque. I was surprised. It winds out at 9,000 RPMs. I can't believe it. But for a 3-cylinder, it's really balanced. As far as the turning, it's not so much, but maybe with some different tires.
A little
I think
squishy.
it's amazing.
You know, what's funny, it bone stock. Imagine the thing turned up a little bit.
Oh yeah. Oh, that'd be great.
Well, thanks for taking it for a spin. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Tom.
Kigley in the front wheel drive DSM goes 7.8 at 181. GTR goes 822 at 171. Dragster goes 672 at 202. 4G63 powered dragster. Okay, I just rolled in here at Duncan Imports. Time to give the Dangan ZZ back. It's bittersweet. I had such an awesome road trip. The car performed so well, just perfectly. Economical, fun to drive, spacious, comfortable. It was so much fun to share it with everybody. I mean, it just brought a smile to every single person's face that saw it, I think. I want to thank you all for following along on social media. That was so much fun to share it with you guys. And also I want to thank Duncan Imports for making this whole road trip possible. Please visit their website at duncanimports.com or just come visit the inventory and collection in person. It'll definitely blow your mind. Maybe you could pick up something for yourself while you're here, you know what I'm saying? So with that said, thanks again, folks. We'll see you next time.